Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah. For today's video, we're going to be doing a tutorial on this look right here. So today I just wanted to do a really easy fall green smoky eyeshadow look. I did this last week in my last video and I really loved how the look turned out, so I really want to film a video on it. Yeah, if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I already did this eye off camera. And I filled in my eyebrows with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4. And then I just primed my eyes with a little bit of concealer. So we're just going to get started with the eyeshadow. So for today we're going to be using, which one is it? The Morphe X Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. And this is the Armed and Gorgeous one. But we're really only going to use this one shade. So if you just have like an olive green, you can use whatever palette you have. But this is the only palette I have that has the shade I was looking for. And then for the matte, we're going to be using the Makeup by Mario palette and the metallic one too. Just giving it some transition shades. And for that green shimmer, again, you can really use whatever palette you have. So I'm first going to go in with the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, and I'm gonna go into these two shades right here just as my transition shade. So I'm gonna go in with a M501 by Morphe, which is just a big fluffy brush, but it comes to a little bit of a taper at the end of it. So I really like to use this brush to start off my eyeshadow, just to really blow out the transition shade and just get like a really effortless blend. Okay, and I'm just going to keep going back in with those until I get them built up to how I want them. I don't want this to get too dark, but I do want to build up those shades a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to go into a M441, which is just a taper blending brush. I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is a little bit more neutral, and I'm going with this one, which is a little bit more warm. I'm just going to mix those two together on this brush and start putting that in my crease pretty much right where we just put the transition shades. But it's just going to deepen that up a little bit, and we're going to take it just a little bit lower and tighter into the crease. Okay, and that's pretty much all we're going to do for like the transition shades. And we're going to start going in with the green. So I'm going to go into the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette, and I'm going to go in with the shade Top Secret right here, which is kind of almost like a olivey army green. So we're going to start taking that on a M433. So this one is like a tapered blending brush. It's a little bit smaller than the Morphe 441. This one's a lot more fluffy. And we're going to take this one. I don't want too small of a brush because I don't want it to get too pigmented and too dark right off the bat. I want it to be a little bit more fluffy, but nothing that's going to make it go all over the eye. So I'm just going to go in with this shade. And I'm going to start putting this, I'm going to start at the lash line of our outer V and work it up. Just so too much doesn't go into our crease and we can really control the shade. And we are going to have to build this shade up. I'm not going in with too much at a time, just so it doesn't get too dark. And we're pretty much just doing the same thing. I'm just blending, or packing it on and then blending it out. Not taking it too far into the crease just yet. And then I'm going to go back in with my M441 and just lightly blend over that. This has no extra product on it. With the shimmer, so I'm going to go in with the Master Metallics by Makeup by Mario. And I'm going to go into Metallic 6, I think, which is just like that. It's pretty much the same shade as this one, but it's just a shimmer. So we're going to go in with that shade right here. I don't know. Right here. And I'm just going to take it on with my finger just because I feel like that's what's going to apply it best. This almost has like a gold shift to it. But I really actually do like this shade. And we're just gonna be kind of messingly putting this on. This is like a super easy green fall makeup look. And I had this one on, I think it was my last video. And I really liked it, so I wanted to film a tutorial on it. So now that we have that packed on, we're gonna go ahead and start going back in with this Top Secret shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Again, I feel like this look is just a lot of packing on, blending it out, packing on, blending it out. So I'm gonna go back in with the M433 with a little bit of that green shade and start blending out on the outer part again, just to redefine it a little bit from that shimmer shade. You could cut the crease if you want to make it a little bit more dramatic. I want to keep it a little bit more easy and soft. Well, as soft as green can get. So we're just gonna slowly take it in, blending that shimmer shade a little bit. Just so we don't have any harsh lines from the shimmer shade. And then we go back in with that M441 that we used with our transition shades. And I'm just gonna go back in with these two, just a little, like the tiniest little bit. And just kind of blend over that, add some warmth back into it. And we're just gonna blend. Okay, and now, this part you could skip if you want to, but just to deepen it up a little bit, I'm gonna go in with the Jaclyn X Morphe, the Dark Magic one, since there's not like a dark green, and I'm gonna go with like this really dark emerald green. I'm only gonna use a little tiny bit of this just to deepen it up just slightly. You could obviously skip this if you want to keep it like this, or you could go in with a different shade, but I just wanted to go in with a green so that I wouldn't make this turn brown or anything. And I'm just gonna use a little bit and keeping it mostly at the lash line. And then we're just gonna go back in with that shade, or that brush we were using with the Top Secret shade. Just gonna blend over it. I feel like I lost some of that like shimmery green, so I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of that. And that's pretty much all we're gonna do. Again, a super easy green look, but you could definitely make it more dramatic if you want to. But I am gonna go in with the Master Metallics, and I'm just gonna go in with this shade. You can use whatever shade you want, but I'm going with like the champagne kind of color just to highlight the inner corner on a E36, which is just like a really small pencil brush. I'm just gonna highlight the inner part of my eye just a little bit. I don't do this every time I do my makeup, but sometimes I feel like it kind of helps to blend the inner corner. Okay, and then I'm just gonna clean up all of that fallout. I'm just gonna sharpen up the edge a little. So now I'm just gonna apply some mascara off camera. I'm just gonna go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, the one I always use. And I'm just gonna put some of this on and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and start on the face. I can't even remember exactly what I used on my face, so we're just gonna wing it and just use what I felt like using today. So for primer, I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Hangover RX. This is one of my favorite primers. I use this one in a lot of my videos. It's just really nice and moisturizing. And then the next primer I'm going with is the Laura Mercier Blurring Pure Canvas Primer. It's silicone free. I really like this one. I feel like it does a really nice job of filling in and blurring the pores. But since it's silicone free, it doesn't slip and slide throughout the day, and it doesn't make my makeup break up or anything. So I'm really liking this one. It's very similar to the Smashbox All in Shine Control. Okay, and for foundation, we're going to be going in with one of my absolute favorite foundations. And this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. And I have mine in the shade 400. So mine is super messy, but I really like this foundation. It's a really good drugstore foundation, but honestly, it's better than a lot of my high-end ones. I feel like it lasts really well on the skin. It looks really pretty. It does have sunscreen in it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it has SPF 25. So just a little bit of sunscreen, so it's a good daytime foundation, but it has a nice medium to full coverage, and it honestly lasts so well. So I'm gonna go in with a brush first. This is the Morphe M439, and I'm just gonna start pushing this in. And then I'm just gonna go with my sponge. This is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. I'm just gonna go over that to make sure it's really nice and flawless, and kind of get in the places like in between my eyebrows. Just get into the places that I can't really get with that brush because it's just a little too big. Okay, and now for concealer, I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape. I do remember using this one when I did my makeup, or I did this makeup look. So I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 12 in Fair Neutral. I also feel like with green eyeshadow, or just kind of like darker eyeshadow, you kind of need to like really conceal underneath the eyes, because if you have any like blueness underneath there, it can kind of like really accentuate that. So I really like to make sure I'm like concealing when I do blue or green eyeshadow. And I'm going to go in with this brush that I've been using a lot. This is the Billion Dollar Brushes, and it's this sculpting duo brush. I just like using this for my concealer or around my brows. I just like to do this first because I feel like it really lays down the coverage and helps to kind of like blend majority of it, and then we go in with the sponge. I don't do this every time I do my makeup. If I'm going for more like a natural or like an everyday makeup look, I'll just go in with my sponge. But if I'm going for more full glam, I actually like doing this. So now I'm just gonna go back in with my sponge and just kind of go over that, just like we did with the foundation. I'm gonna spray my face a little bit with the Ciate Everyday Vacay. It's just feeling a little bit dry today, so I'm just gonna spray it a little bit. And just kind of let that soak in, even though we haven't set. You could do this with setting powder or setting spray, and this will really lock in your makeup. I'm just using a little bit of a mist. So I am going to go with the cream bronzer since I do want to go with the cream blush. So this is the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in Butter Biscuit. So I'm just going to go with this one on my Alamar Cosmetic brush. This is the complexion brush. I do that every single time. And I'm just going to tap some off on the back of my hand just to get like evenly spread out and to make sure we don't have too much product. And I like to start on my forehead and then go to the cheeks. I also really like this Alamar Cosmetics brush. They make really good brushes. I have I think like an eye brush set and then a face brush. They come in sets of 3, and I'm pretty sure they just restocked on it, or they're about to restock. And also with the cream bronzer, I really make sure to push this into the skin. I don't rub it and smear it around. That's just going to disrupt and take off all of the foundation and concealer. So with like a cream product, you just kind of want to push it into the skin just so it doesn't pick up anything, and then always go back over with my sponge just to blend out any harsh lines and to really push into the skin. This will make it look a little bit more natural. So now I'm going to go in with blush. I'm going to use, I don't know if I've used this on camera, maybe, but I'm going to go in with the Rare Beauty blush, and this is in the shade Bliss. So I actually really do like these. Like everyone says, they are very pigmented, so you only use a little bit. I don't dot them onto my cheeks. I just dot them onto my hands and then just pick some up with the brush. So this one's a lot more peachy than my other one. I have the shade, I want to say it's called Happy, but it's just like a really pretty pink. I'm not going to use that one. I just want to have more of a peachy blush today, so that's what Bliss looks like. So I'm just going to take that same Alamar Cosmetics brush. I really need another one of these because I use these for all of my cream products. And again, I'm literally picking up the tiniest bit because these are so pigmented. And I'm just blending it off onto my hands again to make sure it's evenly spread throughout the brush and we don't have too much. And I'm going to start at the back. And we're going to mostly keep this on the backs of our cheeks. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set the face. So I'm just going to set it with my Anastasia loose setting powder in the shade Vanilla. I don't know if I'll bake today. I might just set. We'll see. Okay, and then I just go over it with a big fluffy brush just to make sure there's no extra powder sitting on the skin. So now we're gonna go ahead and do a powder bronzer. You don't have to if you don't want to. I just feel like I like to just set all of the creams. Even though we did set with a powder, I still like to go over it, add a little bit more color, a little bit more definition. So this is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in Fantastic. So I do really like this one. It's just like a neutral bronzy shade. So I just take that on my big fluffy brush. I really like the mirror in this bronzer too. It has a really nice mirror. Okay, so, and now for blush, we're gonna go in with, I might mix this Lawless blush because it's super pigmented. So I might mix it with Kitten Baby from Kylie. So this is what the Lawless one looks like. I'm only going to take like the tiniest little bit. I don't remember what blush I used when I did this makeup look. I know it wasn't this Lawless blush. And I'm also going to tap some off on my hand. These Lawless blushes are really pigmented. So I just like to go and put my hand. Okay, that's all I want. I always take them up on my forehead just because I feel like it kind of ties it all together. I'm trying to decide if I want to bake a little bit. I am going to bake underneath my contour just because I always do. So I'm just going to take that Anastasia powder. I'm just going to bake underneath there just so we can clean it up a little bit. Okay, so I think I took in Fast Lane by ColourPop, which is a like forest green. Yeah, I think I took in this one. Hopefully, I guess we'll see. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go in with the Armed and Gorgeous palette. I'm gonna go in with that Top Secret shade with a flat liner brush and just take that up against there and kind of connect it out here. I think I'm gonna go in with these two transition shades. And I'm just gonna lightly blend this green out. I don't want it to get too low or anything. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and push in this bake. I don't want it to get too bright underneath there. So now I'm just gonna spray my face a little bit. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. So now I'm gonna go with this NYX Face Sculpting Palette, and this is in the shade Fair. I'm just gonna take this really light pink shade and put that underneath my eyes. This is a E48. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this just to brighten. I'm not really like trying to mattify or set. I just want to brighten this up just a little bit underneath there. I'm kind of blend that into the blush. I'm gonna take some of this bronzer on a Luna Magic brush. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I really like it for the bronzer for my nose because even though it's like tapered and kind of almost like an angled fan brush, it's like a lot more fluffy, so it kind of just adds color more than actually contouring. You could definitely contour with this or do a nose highlight with this, but I just like to add some color. Now we're just gonna spray the face one more time with that Urban Decay All Nighter spray to really lock in this makeup. So my camera stopped recording sometime. Hopefully it got it, but just in case it didn't, for my lips I used the KKW lip liner in Nude 1. Then I just blotted on a little bit of the Huda Beauty matte lipstick in the shade Anniversary, and then I just topped it just in the center with a little bit of the Marc Jacobs Sugar Enamored High Shine lip gloss. So yeah, that's what I did for my lips. And that's it of this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you like this easy smoky green look. And it's just a really perfect look for the fall time. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.